was scrolling through the internet the other day and I managed to get a glimpse of this extremely dazzling and magnificent opening miniature. I was so intrigued by it that I began to analyze and extensively study it, and I decided to employ it in one of my own games as well. And believe me, I have not even lost a single game, and I have scored wins over first rate just by knowing this trap. So it's always worth learning these type of tactical nuances so you can even employ it in one of your own games as well. And I must say that only players who extensively study the Caro Kann know about this trap because I've almost played almost 70 opponents with this, and a lot of opponents seem to really fall for it. So, in this video, I'm going to show you the miniature that I saw, and believe me, you're not going to regret watching this video because you can also win using the same method. So let us just dive straight into the game now without any further disturbances. White plays the move e4, and as I've already mentioned, we play the Caro Kann defense c6, d4, striking in the center, d5, black attacks the e4 pawn, white plays knight to c3, defending it, but nevertheless we take d captures e4. Knight captures e4, and after knight takes e4, we do not play the normal line with bishop to f5 or knight d7, we play the move knight to f6. And we are hoping for knight takes f6 because then we will play e takes f6 and we can see that both bishops come into play and you don't really want to happen, right? If you're not really aware of the opening nuances in the Tartaka variation of the Caro Kann defense, as so it's called, then you will definitely suffer in the opening stages itself. So after knight to f6, your opponent says, nope, I don't want to give you the bishop pair. I'm going to play knight to g3. And he says, I'm going to play knight to f3. And even though I have lost a tempo, you itself are going to lose a tempo because your bishop is still boxed in on f8. And after knight to g3, I must say that I never considered the Caro Kann as a serious opening choice. I thought that maybe g6 was the main line, but if you play g6, is it possible to defeat your opponent in 11 moves? After knight to g3, the move that you have to play is actually h5. And after h5, believe me, I have many opponents who are simply confused by what I was playing. They thought that h5 is just an impretentious move, a non-committal move, and they just completely forsake the idea of h4. They totally forgot that the idea of h5 was for me to push h4 to further dislodge this g3 knight and then even play h3. So just to show you, they played c3 here, and after I played this h4 move, knight to e2, I even went h3 here, and after g3, bishop to g4, pinning the knight. Queen to b3, queen to c7, and if anyone is better in this position, it's definitely gonna be white. The engine does say that white has a slight initiative, but from a human's perspective, white can easily make a tiny mistake or a tiny slip right now. So after this h5 move, h4 is the must. You should never allow h4. But white will play the move bishop to g5, and he's definitely going into a very committal course of action. He immediately wants to take the knight with bishop takes f6 and take away the e4 square. But we are determined. We are not losing track of our time. We are just going to play this h4 move. And after h4, white has to play knight e2. But white plays the move bishop takes f6. And after bishop takes f6, e takes f6 is a very nice move. But there is a single move that just wins the game completely for black, and white has nothing to show for after this resourceful move. After bishop takes f6, we are going to play the move h takes g3. And after h takes g3, bishop to e5, white removes the bishop also keeping an eye on the g3 square, and he's hoping for e captures f2 because after king captures f2, even though the king cannot castle anymore, white can play queen f3, bishop c4, and rook e1, and white can even go for a victory because the position is simply imbalanced and unclear. But after bishop to e5, take some time, you're free to pause the video and find out the correct move while I give you a couple of seconds. And it's not really an easy resourceful move to find, so don't feel bad about yourself if you cannot find it. After bishop to e5, the move that we are going to play is actually rook takes h2. And after rook takes h2, it seems the same as g takes h2, only we play the rook first instead of the pawn. But after rook takes h2, we are not going to take the rook with g takes h2. We are first going to deliver this queen a5 check. And after queen a5 check, this is just a magnificent firework of tactics because after this c3 move, you block it. Unfortunately, we are once again not going to take the rook. We defend. We remove the defender of the h2 rook. We play the move queen takes e5. And we sacrifice the rook. We sacrifice the queen. And now we are winning the game. Because after pawn captures e5, we are going to play the move pawn captures h2. And in this position, three grandmasters in a row resigned the game as there was nothing to do. After g takes h2, the problem is black has ideas of playing h1 equal to queens and h takes g1 equal to queens. For example, the knight is under attack, you play knight to f3, but unfortunately, you play h1 equal to queens, and even though this position is not totally winning for black, white has a winning advantage as he has an extra supplementary piece. So it all depends on how black continues this. Black should not have any problems continuing this as black can just play bishop to f5, knight to d7, castle queenside. But who knows, maybe white can make black a tiny slip or a tiny blunder. But I've never had problems converting these type of positions into victories. So you could also play queen h5. You stop h1 equal to queens, but queen h5 is a far worse move than knight to f3 as black will take the knight and promote it into a queen. And after h takes g1, black has two extra pieces. You know it's a winning position. So after this pawn captures h2 move, look at this magnificent beauty, my friends. Rook was on h8, black played h5, h4, he captured the knight, and then he sacrificed the rook. The bishop was here, black went queen a5, removed the bishop, and it is always a memorable outing whenever our pawn is in the place of your opponent's pawn. So, if you like this video, please do comment, share and subscribe. I'm pretty sure that you can use it in one of your own games as well and score high success rates with it just as I did. And once again, if you like this video, please do comment, share and subscribe. I'll be visiting you with more chess videos on opening chess traps, puzzles, endgame strategies very soon. So subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of my future content. Thank you and have a great day, friends.